Thank you very much. This is a great pleasure, honor to be tonight at Forum 2000. I couldn't imagine that this will happen so soon. I have heard, I heard from prison, in prison, about the solidarity this forum has provided to me and to my colleagues and friends and family. I appreciate this platform very much, and I think it, not only myself, all Azerbaijani political prisoners, those who have been already released, or those who are still there in jail, they should all be thankful to you, because this solidarity, this level of international solidarity really helped us survive the prison. So thank you very much. And yesterday, well, last year, I made a video address to this forum, and this is now I'm here, not virtually but really. Let me briefly tell a few words about what kind of country Azerbaijan is, so that you understand many of the dynamics of this country. Azerbaijan is a 10 million strong country, 10 million population, with a GDP of $41 billion and the current state budget of $11–12 billion. It is an oil-producing country. Oil makes 94% of exports of Azerbaijani resources, or Azerbaijani exports. And the oil sector provides up to 80% of state government revenue, the budget. So this is an economy with totally distorted structure. Using the opportunities provided by high oil prices and emerging production since 2006, Azerbaijani government tried to create a social contract of the like of the likes which exist in some Middle Eastern countries, where huge oil production support welfare and keep everyone safe. But the oil production declined as a result of long years of production since 2013 and 14, and the price helped in the crisis following the developments in the shale oil production. And as a result, Azerbaijani economy faced the crisis. But before it faced the crisis, at the highest peak of the oil prices and highest peak of the oil production, the government decided to make a huge, severe crackdown on Azerbaijan, and I was one of the first victims of that in 2013, ahead of the presidential elections. But not only me, practically all leaders of Azerbaijani political, civil society, and political parties had to either go to prison or had to flee the country. After the crisis in 2015 and 16, the government started reconsidering its approach because it was too costly for them to keep such a bad reputation. And all these repressions, all these events happened despite of Azerbaijan's membership in the Council of Europe. Yes, a country with this level of repression is a member of the Council of Europe, the main leading European institution and the oldest European institution. And I must tell you that the membership in the Council of Europe, we should not underestimate the significance of it for political prisoners, and it really helped us survive. Because we win the cases at the European Court of Human Rights. This is an institutional mechanism that keeps us more or less protected. However, I think Azerbaijan's membership in the Council of Europe has to be questioned based on its refusal to implement the judgments of the European Court of Human Rights. I think we should pay close attention to that factor, because if these countries like Azerbaijan continue ignoring the judgments of the European Court, this will further undermine the foundations of European democracy and European system of protection of human rights. In my case, by the way, for the first time in history, the Council of Europe initiated an infringement procedure against Azerbaijan for the first time ever during the existence of the European Convention of Human Rights, and this procedure confirmed that Azerbaijan was not compliant, and yet it still refuses to execute the judgment. So it tells something about to what extent the judicial foundations of European system of protection of human rights have eroded. Azerbaijan is one of those countries which suffered in terms of democratic values and in the institutions of the crisis of multilateralism, because the Council of Europe is one of the multilateral institutions to which we relied when we engage in politics. One can engage in politics in different forms. In countries, when I started my political career, I was 28 years old. Azerbaijan was just about to join the Council of Europe. I thought that yes, there can be some repressions, there can be some attacks and other limitations on my activity, but in the end I thought that my rights are protected. And I still continue my rights. I still continue to believe that my rights are protected, but this needs stronger evidence. This needs stronger evidence just than my presence here. I still cannot run at elections because I was in prison. Why? I won the European Court 3 times, and the government still refuses to recognize my right to run at presidential and parliamentary elections. This is not acceptable. This cannot be tolerated in a Council of Europe member country, and we are going to initiate appropriate procedures regarding that. Azerbaijan is a republic which has been established in 1918 as a result of the collapse of the Russian Empire. It was immediately created as a republic. It did not become a kingdom. It didn't become a monarchy. It was created as a republic. It was born to the world as a republic. Unfortunately, currently, Azerbaijan is governed by a family. And the current president is the son of the former president. This is not an acceptable situation for our country, and it is certainly not an acceptable future for our country, because there are plans to continue this line of succession within the ruling family, and that is why, by the way, our party is called the Republican Alternative. We are a Republican alternative to this monarchy, which is alien to our political system, which is alien to the nature of our country, of our nation. We are a Turkic-speaking nation. Our language is very close to Turkish, and it's not surprised that many values which lie in the foundation of the democratic Turkey now have been borrowed after the emergence of our republic by intellectuals of Turkey. So we play the role, our intellectuals played a big role in the foundations of the current Turkish Republic, and we are very proud of that. What makes Azerbaijan special? We are a Muslim country, but we have the strongest secular traditions of secular social organization. Unfortunately, during the period since after 9/11, Azerbaijan was successful. The Azerbaijani government, the monarchy, the ruling family was very efficient in using religious factors to justify the repressive and security forces-based regime and ensure the succession from father to son. Some circles around the world thought that yes, there is a risk of religious fundamentalism or religious extremism in Azerbaijan because this is a predominantly Muslim country, but I assure you that Azerbaijani Muslims are very proud of their religion, of their tradition, and of their culture, and we have a very strong tradition of secular state, which no sect, no movement can break and destroy. We will be a republic, we will be a secular republic forever. Currently, Azerbaijan's international identity is not defined only by our membership in the Council of Europe. We are a member of a number of international organizations, but of course the Council of Europe is the one which is the most dear in terms of the values which we support. But at the same time, I think, given the crisis of multilateralism which hit our standards of human rights and democracy, I think we should also put a lot of attention and emphasis on bilateral relations with the European Union and United States. Azerbaijan's relations with the European Union are currently governed by a 1996 agreement, which is too old. It has been drafted and signed at all times and more than 20 years ago, and it needs an update. Unfortunately, Azerbaijan is one of the two countries of the Eastern Partnership of the European Union, which still doesn't have a strategic agreement with the European Union. And our party is a strong proponent and advocate of that kind of agreement. So Ukraine, Georgia, and Moldova have an association agreement with the European Union, and Armenia has some sort of lower level agreement with the European Union, and Azerbaijan and Belarus are the only countries which still don't have this kind of agreement. Those agreements are really important for protection of human rights and democratic values in our countries, because just to give you an example, because the agreement of 1996 didn't work, there was no cooperation council meetings between the European Union and Azerbaijan between 2013, 2018, during all the 2000, those 6 years which I spent in prison. So, and not only myself, all others. So Azerbaijan was reluctant, and there was no cooperation. Now we are looking to this cooperation. I think this government cannot achieve or ensure an association agreement with the European Union. We are strong proponents and advocates of the association agreement. It is not realistic with this government, but some sort of agreement is certainly necessary to guide our relations with the European Union and bring more attention and protection to human rights. Same applies to the United States. Relations to the United States. Unfortunately, in recent years, relations with the United States are a bit in the shadow of the plans of this greatest nation regarding our region, our neighbor Iran. So in the south, Azerbaijan is bordered with Iran, and this uncertainty that exists in relations between Iran and the United States also does not contribute to strong action of the international community and United States. I understand the considerations. I understand this is the real political considerations. And I appreciate very much the assistance the United States has provided so far to Azerbaijani civil society, to Azerbaijani people, political prisoners, those who have suffered and still continue suffering. So we enjoy a lot of support. We enjoy a lot of assistance from United States, both political and material support has been provided to many families which have been repressed by this regime. But at the same time, as I said, our relations with U.S.-Iranian relations and the uncertainty is a troubling matter for us. It's a trouble. We want a certainty. We want peace. We want an agreement as soon as possible between these two countries, because this will help for shifting the focus within our country to democratic transition. I don't want to take all this evening, of course, with this story of this small, at the same time, great nation of Azerbaijan. I wish you good luck during all this conference and in the future endeavors. I really thank again, once again, all the participants of this forum, all those who contributed to the organization of this forum. I know that some of the speakers who used to attend this forum in the past as regular participants now represent and head the governments in this country, so I want to congratulate and I wish that your success story is translated to our story. And in the coming years, we have parliamentary elections next year, which will be a crucial milestone on the way of democratic transition. In Azerbaijan, we will do our best to perform in the best way at those elections and ensure that we create a system which is respectful to our glorious, I would say, history of republicanism, and which will open a way for prosperity and democracy and human rights for our country and the entire region. Thank you very much.